We're talking about flipping infill lots, vacant land. It's pretty simple. It's my preferred vehicle to invest in real estate just because it's so simple, but it's not completely simple. It's not without its challenges, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. If you would, subscribe, leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. I appreciate you checking out the channel. Let's talk about infill lots. So an infill lot is basically a single lot inside of a neighborhood. Most likely that neighborhood's already been developed to some extent, and these are just scattered infill lots that never had a house built on them, or possibly the house burned down at some point in time or got knocked down for some reason. A lot of times you'll also see where somebody built a house and they just bought that lot next door, a couple lots next door, and so they were just somebody's side yard, and then as the house changed hands, maybe the lots didn't. Whatever the reason is, they're just these spare straggler lots in a neighborhood. A lot of this goes for vacant land in general too, small acreage, stuff like that. But I want to talk to you about one of the key things that you need to be able to figure out, and it's kind of tricky, to successfully and profitably flip vacant land, and that is valuing that land. And more specifically, what will somebody pay for that lot? And so some of the challenges are finding comps. And it could be easy, could be difficult, but a lot of times there's going to be more sales for single family homes in that area than there are going to be for vacant land or vacant lots. And so if there's not a lot of sales volume, it's very hard to pinpoint what somebody's paying for those lots, because nobody's buying them because they haven't been sold. And one of the key things that you want to look for in that case is there new construction going on in that area? And that's a big sign to see if there's a market for infill lots in that area or not. If there's no new construction in that area, people aren't really moving to that area, new houses aren't being built, then it may not be that desirable, and you could still buy the lot. Somebody still may want it, a home builder may still want it, but it's going to be less desirable. You need to calculate that into your equation when figuring out how much you're going to pay for that lot. Ideally, you want to be buying infill lots in an area where people are knocking down old houses to build new houses. That shows you that there's a desire for people to be in that neighborhood, but there's not a lot of supply for vacant lots. So they're knocking down the old houses and just building a new house on top of it. That's a good sign. If there's scattered infill development, like a custom home builder or spec home builders going into that particular area and buying lots and building houses and putting them up for sale, that's another good sign. That's also who you're going to want to target to sell your infill lots to if you get them under contract, if you're wholesaling them, or if you're buying them, taking them down outright, and then reselling them. A home builder is a great potential target for who to sell that to. You want to look at recent sales volume too, if you have a real estate license and you can pull comps yourself, great. Or if you're working with a realtor, if you're not, just call a local real estate agent that's doing business in that area and ask them, what's the sales volume like for vacant lots? Are they selling? You can pull up active comps on the MLS, maybe set recent sales data and just get a feel for what it's like. But if you can't pinpoint what they're selling for, that probably shows you that the sales volume is low, the demand is low for them, and so it may take longer if you get one under contract to sell it. And if that's the case, you want to have as much margin and room for error in that deal as possible. If you think you could sell that lot for $40,000, you want to be way below that number just to give yourself some cushion if there's no recent sales volume. Now, if people are knocking down houses in that area to build new houses, and if there's home building going on around there left and right, new homes are being built, old ones are being knocked down, you're in a hot spot for infill lots. Those home builders can't find empty lots, so if you can get a hold of one, you're probably in a pretty good position. And you can go ask those home builders. I used to have an office in my office building, and there was a home builder two offices down from me, and he told me all the neighborhoods that he wanted to buy in and what he pays for lots like that. And but he would also say they don't come available often, but when they do, I'm happy to buy them because we can build the homes that we like to build, and we can sell them quick. And so there you go. If you talk to these builders, they'll tell you the neighborhoods that they want to buy in, that they like to work in. They'll tell you what they paid for the last ones, what they're paying for lots right now. And what they tell you they're paying for lots is really what they hope they could pay for lots. And that doesn't mean that they won't pay more, but it gives you a baseline, a starting point, and you can use that as well. But that's the one key for valuing lots. You're also going to get these neighborhoods, and you'll get people all the time wanting to sell. If you're doing outreach marketing to try and get people to call you, or bandit signs, you'll have people also try to sell you lots like crazy in the area that people don't want to be in. These are like $1,000 lots, $5,000 lots. And with your fees at the title company and closing costs and stuff like that, it's hard to eke out a profit. And even when you do, I mean, it's $1,000, $2,000. It's probably not worth your time. And so those are also lots that you need to watch out for. But you look at every deal, especially when you're starting out, and you think, okay, can I make any money on this? And you take it from there. And if nothing else, you're doing research on neighborhoods that you're working in, and you see what kind of lots are out there where you do want to buy at, where you don't want to buy at, where there's potential for profit, and where there's really not a lot to squeeze out of it. I've had people tell me, can you just take this lot, please? Can I give you the lot so I don't have to mess with it anymore? And I tell them no, I don't want it. I've had landlocked lots and things like that. I've bought landlocked property before, but not always, and not for very much money. And I have had people ask me to take vacant lots for free. So that's the spectrum. They can go from basically worthless to sky's the limit. And that's what's tricky about vacant lots, is it's hard. Why is this one worth $250,000 and this one that this guy owns, he's trying to give it to me for free so I can take it off his hands? And so you need to figure out what you're working with and pricing it there, what you're going to pay for it, what you can sell for it, and what you can make on the in-between. Keep this in mind too with infill lots. Your pool of buyers for those are normally smaller than your pool of buyers for, say, a single family home or multifamily property. So a single family home, you've got retail buyers that are going to want to live in that house. You've got investment buyers that are looking for a rental property or a fix and flip or another strategy, Airbnbs, that they could use a single family home for. And then you've also got those tear down people that are looking for a house that they can tear down and build a new one. So your pool of buyers for a single family home or a house is much larger than your pool of buyers for a single infill lot. It's not that they're non-existent, they are there, but keep that in mind too when buying these. So there's bigger margins a lot of times if you buy these deals right, these infill lots, but it can take longer to sell them than a single family home just because the potential buyers are less in number. But that also lends itself to making sure that you buy it right so that you can price it right so that you can sell it quickly. Keep that in mind as well. And another key is just to keep in mind the challenges that we've already talked about in this video. Keep those in mind so that when you're going into these deals, you know what challenges you'll be facing when you go to sell the vacant lot. This video added some value to you. Got some other videos on the channel about vacant lots, infill lots. Please check those out. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you've had any experience with vacant lots, infill lots, what that was like. And I'll see you on the next one.